You're listening to Edge Radio TV. The views and opinions expressed in this program are that of the hosts or guests, and not the Edge Radio Network or its advertisers or affiliates.
And welcome again to another edition of Athletics United platform here on the Edge Radio Network, where truth still matters. I'm your host, Big Mel, also known as his judgeship, master of all that he surveys and final arbiter of all that comes before him. As usual, I'm co-hosted by my son, Big Sonny. What's going on, Lorenzo Johnson?
So what's up? Great to be here.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a great show today. We got some great guests.
Absolutely. We have a couple of guests here today of notoriety.
Absolutely.
Of notoriety. Mr. Harvey Catchings, father of a Hall of Famer, and an outstanding long-term NBA ball player himself, Mr. Robert Reed. Outstanding NBA ball player and great community relations manager. We're going to talk to you guys today a little bit about what it means to be who you are. What does it mean to raise the Hall of Famer? How do you raise the Hall of Famer, Mr. Catchings?
You know, it's interesting. I get that question a lot, especially now. You know, she's an Hall of Famer. But I go back to years ago when my two daughters were playing.
And let me interrupt. Let's be clear. Mr. Harvey Catchings, his daughter is Tamika Catchings.
There we go.
The Indiana Fever, and of all kinds of notoriety. And we'll have to talk about that a little bit more. Go for it, my friend.
But I noticed that they were, you know, they would always get into these situations where they would fight while they're playing basketball because they both wanted to win. So I went outside one day and I said, okay, give me the ball. And so I took the ball and went inside. Taj is still like to play with dolls, so she went upstairs and played with her dolls. So I was in the house for about 10, 15 minutes and Mika hadn't come in yet. So I'm like, man, what's going on? So I went outside and I saw her going through all of the different drills, all of the different movements without a basketball, shooting, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I thought, I said, you know, she really, really loves this game. And she said, Dad, this is my throne. People talk about the fact that I can't hear well, talk about the fact that I used to, you know, wear glasses, you know, I have a speech impediment. She said, but I can't wait until I get them on the basketball.
My.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
She's going to make clear to them who rule.
Oh, yes.
This is my house.
You got to love that. You got to love that. Robert, what can we not say about you? You've been at the top of the league. You've been a world championship player a couple of times. You've played with some awesome inside men like Big Ralph, Akeem, Moses. Come on. Rudy T, come on, my friend. You played with the best. How do you feel about that? Give us an understanding of that trajectory. You come into the league and at some point you're struggling.
You know, I will have to say this. Graduating from St. Mary's University in San Antonio and NAIA school. We played against you my senior year, Northern Illinois, Southern Illinois.
Did y'all win?
Yes.
Okay.
Played against Southern Illinois with Glenn Rice. We played home at Hawthorne against U of H with Guy Lewis, with Lou Dunbar, Otis Birdsong.
Yes.
So we played the top NCAAs. So now, when I was asked and I found out I got drafted second round, 40th in the NBA on the radio. I didn't know it because I was at my job at the steel factory. And that was when they had 10 rounds.
Exactly.
There was no TV or anything. So my dad called and told me when I got home, because there weren't no cell phones. He said, you drafted by the Rockets, second round, 40th player picked in the league. I said, okay. So when we got to the camp in Loyola in LA, I'm seeing all these vets and all. I'm playing with Moses and John Lucas. I say, let's just play ball. Now, before that, when the Spurs came, George Gervin, James Silas, Billy Paultz, Ned Olecki, when they came to San Antonio in 75, they wanted to know where to play. St. Mary's. Now, I'm playing against Larry Keenan all the time, and I'll never forget the first time I blocked his shot, he called a foul. Wait a minute, this is my floor, and you call a foul. I said, foul, why? Because can't no college player block a professional player's shot. Man, sit your ass. This is my floor.
It's your floor.
I love it.
But the one thing that I will have to say, I didn't even think about playing professional. I wanted to be a coach. I was majoring, not PE, physical education. Minor in history.
All right.
But playing against Gervin one-on-one at night at the gym, here it was, he gave me that seed.
Yes.
You can do this.
Man.
And I went on that seed.
Hall of Famer.
Yes. Had a Hall of Future. Come on. You saw how skinny he was.
Nice.
He gonna get knocked by everybody. And you know, he had 3 words. Hey, little fella. You don't want this. Hey, little fella. Go sit down. Everybody was little fella.
Little fella.
That's outrageous.
I love it.
Here's a young man with a story. We're talking about 70s and 75, 74. Exciting. What year were you born?
74.
He don't know nothing about this.
You don't know about this.
I went into the NBA in 1974.
My God.
From Weatherford. Weatherford. I-20.
Yeah.
Hardin Simmons.
Hardin Simmons.
Sonny, give us a trajectory, give us a profile.
Give us a modern day.
A modern day.
For me, of my stuff?
Yeah.
Where do you want me to start?
Okay, starting.
All right, you know where to start?
Yeah.
McDonald's burgers were 55 cents.
Go ahead.
And fries and a Coke.
Oh,
A gallon of gas.
55 cents? Oh, yeah.
That's how young you were.
A gallon of gas.
How much is gas? How much is gas?
Gas was 55 cents.
Wow.
Come on. That's how young he is.
74. Come on. All right.
Oh, man. I haven't
Come on, Lo.
All right, so you come out of high school.
Yeah.
And you rank right up there with some guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Who were some of the guys in Mississippi at that time?
I played with Antonio McDyess. Became a star with the Denver Nuggets. Eric Dampier came out of my class. We had Ronnie Henderson. A lot of people don't know about, but Ronnie Henderson was a heck of a player. But he blew both his knees out. I think they said. Went to LSU. He was projected to be that guy.
Yeah, good guy.
And we had a monster class. My senior year at '93, we had 25 guys signed Division I in Mississippi.
Come on now.
25. Mississippi is a small state. I'm talking about for basketball. Division I.
So you
from Mississippi?
Yeah.
Where?
Mississippi. I grew up in Ellisville.
And I'm from Jackson.
From Jackson.
Wait a minute.
Man,
both y'all wrong. Both y'all wrong.
no,
You
no,
pronouncing it wrong. It's Mississippi.
Oh, here we go.
It's Mississippi. Not Mississippi.
Every time,
What y'all do this?
You know, it's funny. Every time I talk to somebody, I try to give them some, advice. I said, but you know what do I know? I'm from Mississippi.
They said no, it's Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi produced some of the great ones.
And that's why everybody spell it wrong, because they don't put those extra 2 S's.
And
I tell people they always wonder how you spell it.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, you know how they taught you growing up.
Yeah.
Crooked letter.
Humpback.
Yeah, man. So they asked me, I'm from Crooked letter. You know what that is.
I know where you
Crooked letter. You know what? When I say that Crooked letter, hey, come on, man. Come on, man.
Just say Mark Twain.
right.
You find yourself in Colorado State.
Yes.
Why not Colorado?
Why not Colorado?
Why not University of Colorado?
I wasn't looking at that. Actually, I was looking at some Big Ten schools in that area. Colorado State is. I chose that because my best friend coming up through like junior high through high school, we wanted to play at the same school. So we did the old package deal.
Okay.
So that's why I chose Colorado State.
There you go.
And one day you decide, I'm just going to walk on a world championship team someplace. I don't know. I'll just go make some.
Come on.
Yeah.
Huh?
Come on.
I mean,
You had the audacity.
Come on.
audacity.
to think you could just walk on
Yes.
a world championship team.
Yes.
They would be receptive. They'd say, come on in, yeah, you're up here.
Yes.
So explain that.
We're getting ready to go into break. I don't want to show
All right,
myself.
tell you what,
Let's
man.
do that. I want to make sure I
So
tell the
we're here
full
talking
Tell the
with-
full
Yeah, I don't want to,
story.
you know.
We're here talking with the great Harvey Catchings, the great
Yes.
Robert Reed, and the great Lorenzo Johnson,
Yes.
Big Sonny. And we'll be right back after this lesson.
Man, that's how
Right.
I need to get.
Edge Radio TV is holding auditions for new show hosts. Are you a subject matter expert, professional, influencer, book author, thought leader, or business owner with an educational or motivational platform? Then we want to meet you. Send a link of some of your work to edgeradio20@gmail.com and be sure to put audition in the subject line. Join the Edge Radio TV family. Edge TV, because truth still matters.
And we're back. We're here talking to some rather illustrious ball players, ex-ball players, and men of notoriety and men of accomplishment. Sonny McBroke. We're talking about you and your exploits in this game.
Yeah.
Sonny, you were an NBA basketball player for a moment there, were you not?
Yes, I was.
Why
Yes.
did you choose the World Championship team to walk on?
To be honest with you, I owe all the credit to Larry Smith.
Really?
I'm sure you guys know
Yeah,
who
we
that
know Larry
is.
Smith.
He's great from Alcorn, right?
Yep.
There you go.
And, you know, I was fortunate, man. I kind of found myself in a situation when I was in college where I went from starting as a freshman and sophomore to kind of find my way coming off the bench my last 2 years.
Wow.
That don't add up, right? Something's wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I had a good friend in Antonio McNice who was playing with the Nuggets at the time. So I used to get tickets from him. I'm going to games. And I knew my situation would be difficult, right? Coming off the bench, right? I knew ultimately I wanted to play at that level, but I just needed a shot. So what I started doing while I was in college, I was introducing myself to these coaches because I had access.
There you
You
go.
understand what I'm
You got
saying?
the game, yeah.
And all I wanted was an opportunity. Hey, call me if you got a trial or something. give him a card or whatever.
Wow.
He called me.
Cousin.
Rest is history. He called me.
Yeah.
So when he called me, hey, we got an opportunity coming up, tryout coming up, and I just took advantage of the opportunity coming up.
And you found yourself in practice facing who?
Keem Olajuwon.
Oh, come on,
My
man.
matchup every day in practice.
That's not exactly a walk in the park, is it?
No,
Okay.
but like I didn't think anything of it. I mean, it's just like going against anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
At the end of the day, he was gonna know who I was.
Yes. Yeah.
Trust me, believe that.
And
So
you made that clear to him.
made that clear. Day one.
It's sunny.
Day one.
There
So
we go.
what's remarkable about the story is a lot of people don't realize at that level so much is done behind closed doors. It's a business. And see, that's what I did not understand. I made it that far without an agent.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
Without an agent.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
I come in, I'm thinking, okay, I have an opportunity, right? That's great. But, my high school coach prepared me in terms of how to work. You know what I mean? You probably know my high school coach. Shout out to Coach Price, Casey Price.
Yeah.
He played at Southern Miss.
He's like 88 years old at this
No.
time.
He used to kick my butt every day, and it helped me and prepared me. He taught me how to prepare. So when I got to that level, I was ready. You know what I mean? I was ready. But I didn't have an agent, so I didn't understand the way the business worked. The way he taught me coming up was, if I had a matchup, you and I was matching up, I'm gonna beat out my matchup.
Yeah. Yes.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I came into the situation with the Rockets, I'm like, if they got a spot open, I'm taking that spot.
Well,
Period.
of course, if you and I had a matchup, the outcome would be more.
But Sonny made one quick point that Harvey and I knew when he came in before me. There were deals made with the general manager and an agency where you remember I did this, so you owe me one.
Favor for a favor.
There you go. So here come this player that shouldn't be there, but it's from another favor.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And I did this for you, so you owe me. So there was a lot of guys, people scratching their foreheads. Saying, how did he make this?
Right.
Favor.
It's a foregone conclusion.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we've all played this game, guys. We all love this game. We contribute much to the game. After playing the game, post-retirement years, you guys have been involved in various forms of philanthropy, community development, community outreach. Robert, you've done some things, man. I recall the children's hospitals and, at-risk youth, that kind of thing. I just found remarkable that you take the time business schedule. Come back from a 60-game road trip and go straight to Houston Memorial Children's Hospital. Harvey, you've done some incredible things with youth. Sonny, the camps, the various clinics you help.
Yes.
You've been involved in the community.
Yes.
What does it mean to do community outreach?
I think for me, it's looking at the opportunities and the voice that you have, and putting yourself in a position where you can go out and speak to these kids about what it's going to take in order for them to succeed. A lot of kids are dealing with situations where there's no direction at home. Mom's got 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So they're what they call them latchkey kids.
Yes.
So when you have a situation like that, you don't really have any structure because you set up your own. You set up your own structure.
Right.
So the ability. I remember Dr. Ford putting together a program 2 or 3 years ago where kids would come in, and I don't know if you may have come out there once or twice, Rob. Kids would come in and they would have to do school items, like math, science, the STEM program. And then they would take a break for about an hour, and then we would go into the gym and then, work with them on their skills. And and the bottom line is that, when we're in these positions, and you said, Rob has just been incredible, just reaching out and getting involved in all these different organizations.
Yes.
Anything that you give out will come back to you. I struggle with guys that want to be paid to go out and help kids. I struggle with that. I struggle with some of our superstars where we've reached out to them and we've asked them to be a part of what we're doing and show up at events. And the question is, how much are you getting paid?
that-
And the next question is, how many games did you win by yourself?
Yeah.
You know, so the
Right, I love
reality
it.
is that, you know, and that's kind
I
of
love
that's kind of where we are, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, you got to give.
You got to. You got to. And Robert, you, Kevin, how do you measure the impact of what we do? When we go out and give, when we go out and try to relate, how do you measure it?
Well, I would be honest and say I'm honored that you asked me to come speak. Jim Foley, I'd be on the road. Robert got a kid at Children's Hospital. Okay, can you go see him? And I'm there and staying the whole time. Didn't go home
Yeah.
until the time for the game.
Yeah.
When I go talk to these young men, ladies basketball, as far as professional, wasn't happening yet, but it was move up to college.
Uh-huh.
I never gave the young man and then the future young ladies, you're going to be a professional. No. You're going to take care of yourself. Here's your opportunity. Now, if you get a chance to put that right foot in the door as a professional, you're ready. But you got to take care of this.
Yep.
So never, ever did I say, you're good enough to go play against this guy.
Love it.
And and it kept me cemented down
Yes.
because no one ever said that to me.
Right.
Just gave me an opportunity to put my foot in the door. Come on.
Yeah,
Weatherford,
I know.
Hardin Simmons, this is Texas.
Yeah.
The only people thought about Texas was West Texas when they won.
That's right.
Right.
St. Mary's?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Right.
NAIA?
Wow.
He ought to be glad he got a uniform.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting?
Oh,
is that,
man.
You know, taking a look at what Rob just said, for me to be able to grow up in Jackson, Mississippi, right around, my mother had a store right around the corner from Jackson State. And I went to talk to Coach Covington about a scholarship. I wasn't very good. And he said, son, we recruit athletes.
There you go.
So because I only played 6 games in high school. You know, I didn't, sports was just not my thing. I played in the band. And after high school, I had an opportunity to go out to UCLA, where I met with Denny Crum and Coach Wooten.
Yeah.
And they had a friend out at Weatherford Junior College that was looking for a big man. He said, you mind stopping by and talking to him on the way back? I said, when am I leaving? Bottom line. And after that, I went from Weatherford, starting and, being very raw, to going to Hardin Simmons and averaging close to 20 points a game and 11, 12 rebounds.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden I get drafted by Philadelphia in the 3rd round, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Now, the history is this. After my 2nd year when he was with Milwaukee,
Tried to block every shot.
No. In the 2nd year, during the summer, for the season start, now I had to read Harvey Ketchen is now a black belt in karate. I'm like, and they want me to be a 4. Ain't this a bite? He's a black belt in
Big hole in him
karate
on
with
the-
Marcus Johnson and Sidney Moncrief.
My God.
Lord have mercy.
That's a terrible combination.
Man.
Now, Sonny,
Yeah.
organizations have asked you to go out and speak on their behalf sometimes.
Yeah.
How do you, and this is a question we're going to ask right after this break,
Yeah.
we're going to ask you, how do you assess that you somehow added value? They've entrusted their brand to you. How do you assess the impact? Okay, we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're going to talk about metrics, all right? Very good. We'll be back after this message.
All right.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay?
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Hey y'all, I'm Robin B.
And I'm Dr. Kiva.
And we just want to know
how you living?
Join us every Monday
at noon Central Standard Time
here on Edge Radio TV. Take care.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
And we're back, Athletes United, with our two special guests today, Harvey Katzins and my main man,
Bobby Reed, Bobby Joe.
Honor.
Bobby Joe.
Bobby
Most
Joe.
people don't know about that. Bobby, did you say Bobby Joe?
I was Bobby Joe.
Texas
Bobby
name,
Joe.
That's
Texas.
Country.
Texas
I was
flavor.
Bobby Joe.
Okay.
Named after my college coach, Edward Joseph Mesbarger. Why? I had my senior year, I had the house set, his new house, wife and them built. They went to St. Joe, Missouri. I'm in the first night at the house. Here come my roommate and the other 9 teammates with their girlfriend partying up in this. I said, man, look, y'all ain't gonna mess these white folks home out. And my roommate did this. Come on, Bobby Joe, your daddy ain't gonna mind. Because he was Edward Joseph, man. Man, get yourselves out this house. And they didn't come in the house.
Oh, man.
So that's how I became Bobby Joe from San Antonio.
Wow, I love it. I love it, man. There's so many stories. I can sit and listen to y'all all day. All day. Before we went to break, you want to?
Yeah, we were talking about community outreach and
Yeah.
community efforts on the part of athletes. We have an appearance, and as far as I'm concerned, our product is human capital
Yeah.
in the form of celebrated athletes, athletes with a large devotion to community, athletes that are highly recognized among youth, among corporate types, among those who have an interest in developing a new workforce, developing a controlled community, an interest in contributing to the growth of the community. You, I know personally, have been called out in many cases by corporations to represent them. I'm asking you, how do you know you had an impact? How do you measure your impact?
Well, first and foremost, for me, I see myself as a role model. I think it's very important for me to model behavior that I want to see in others,
There you go.
especially, particularly kids.
Sure.
So, I know I had a great impact on kids' lives. Since I've been out here in Houston, I coached at a charter school here. I was a teacher, and I served 4 years there.
All right.
And I dealt with some kids that had some challenges where a lot of people wrote them off, and I'm like, nah, not on my watch. We're not gonna fail on my watch. So I mean, these are kids that came to me that you know, it was an accomplishment for them to finish high school. Whereas I'm thinking beyond high school. No, you're going to college. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do. So I just always believed in trying to prepare them to do that. You know, I have, since I, you know, went on from the high school, become an entrepreneur, but those kids that I had an impact on, I had kids to go on to not only finish high school, but they went on to college, had kids graduate college. These are kids that people never even thrown away. That they never go to college. They ain't gonna finish high school. You know, and I had these kids. They finished college, you know, with college degrees, and then I have one that's an entrepreneur now, has his own business. I mean, these are kids that people wrote off,
inspired by things you had told them and ways you had shown them. Yes.
But think about this. How many times have each one of us, not your story that we've gone to schools, we've been invited to speak, to motivate kids. Think real quickly how many times we've been in the mall and we seen young men act up, and we took the time to say, hey, look, young fella, come here. Look, that's not seemly, that's unseemly. Now, if you walk in that Macy's store, don't say nothing when you see 4 or 5 white security guys following you, because the way you acting, you couldn't even walk in my house.
That's the way it is.
And that's what we've all taken the time to pull that coattail, and it's without no fanfare, no camera, but it's something been instilled in us how to walk right. Walk and talk right.
Absolutely.
So we're not talking squishy stuff, you know, something that's out in the sky someplace. We have measurable impact.
Right. Absolutely.
We've been able to touch some young man or young lady, sister. Come on, because we got daughters. Come on, that's, you know, one time I'm in the mall and I'm seeing a young lady. I thought she was Warren Moon. Hey, Shamil! Come here, girl! Oh, Lord! Hey, baby. I mean, I thought she was down there, yelling 4 stores down. Young sisters, come on. That's not the way you carry yourself.
Right. I mean, we have community impact. No, we do. We do. You've raised strong family members. You've tutored, mentored, non-family members. How do you see our role? How do you see it?
I think the role that, well, I mean, it's a continuation. It's a continuation of what we've been doing. I think that the key now is to try to structure it differently and put it in a package where, you know, when we go out, we're representing, you know, the group. Just like, you know, when you talked about corporations coming to him and asking him to speak about different things, you know, it's all in the packaging. Because if you go out helter-skelter, you make an impact, but you won't make the same kind of impact like if we go to an organization together. Just think about how impactful that is, because you can't reach out and touch everybody that's there.
Sure.
But if you're walking around the room and you see somebody that's out of order, you know, just touch them on the shoulder, you know, check, you know, guys looking at their cell phones. You know, this is not for us, this is for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, God has given us so much that if we don't give back, then we got to be accountable to God.
Absolutely. I love that.
But you know, you want to impact? I got $100 that after this show was finished, we finished taping this show. If the 4 of us will go to the Galleria on the level above the skating rink, the 4 of us, see how we dress, and just walk from Macy's to the other end and then come back, and we just kind of point and look at stuff, all right? Right then and there, somebody's gonna look and say, look at them.
Sure.
Right.
Look at them. Look how they walk. Look how they talking. Who are these guys? What are they doing?
Their pants are pulled up.
Right.
You know,
and then watch them. Watch how they act when we go downstairs and order something and sit and eat. Hello, how you doing, my name? That is an impact right then and there. And we're talking right now. If we do that at 2 o'clock this afternoon, somebody will call a TV station. Who are these guys?
Yeah, yeah. So we have that kind of social leadership.
Yes,
exactly.
that's how we carry and walk ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have the look.
We have the look.
So we can translate that curiosity into some value.
Yeah.
And we have in the past.
Yeah.
For corporations, for groups, for organizations.
Don't have to put a rap song. Don't have to shoot a basket like we used to. But how we are now, go find out who those guys are.
Right.
Give them my card and tell them I need to talk to them.
Yeah.
That's the impact that we're carrying now without having to put the sneakers on, the high socks, and the practice gear.
Yeah.
Look how they're doing now.
How often have you walked into a room?
Yes.
And everybody get quiet?
Yes. That's the thing. You walk in that door.
Well, it's like I always say, though, guys, with our presence, I always say, when I walk in the room, I command respect.
Yes.
Period. By the way I
you
carry
command.
myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's important. Especially, like you said, we walk in the mall looking like this.
And when we get there and get that attention, and we come with a message, is there anything more powerful?
Ain't nothing more powerful. Because now you're going to hear us talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, with all due respect,
together. Right.
with all due respect to our other brothers in interviews, have you noticed one thing, how we've all trained ourselves? And this is what you want to do. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not dissing my brothers because we've trained ourselves. We didn't have a person to teach us, a cast person for a movie. We realized the words coming out. Let the words of my mouth be the meditation of my heart. That's how we're talking.
And it's interesting because I used to work for the NBA, and we had it was called a team awareness meeting, and we also had the rookie transition program.
Yes.
And so when they came in, it was only a 5-day program, the rookie transition program. But at the end of those 5 days, because we had poured so much information into them, there was something different about them after that 5 days because they understood. Not necessarily about what it means to become a professional, but it means that I have to do better. That's what they took away. I have to do better.
Well, do you remember? I did it one year when we were upstate New York. You remember they got all the soap opera stars to do the scenarios. The fiance who's pregnant and he got to go to LA. Well, what we gonna do? Girl, Coach told me, you ain't leaving. The uncle, boy, I raised you since this high and you give me a VW, but you gonna give your auntie a Lexus? All this stuff, we did a scenarios. These young, future multimillionaires to be prepared of, wow, where these people come from. Daddy, you ain't been there. Now Pop shows up.
And so you're giving some practical.
And you got to give it to David Stern. That's what he started.
Absolutely.
He started.
That's powerful. We're going to come right back after this message. We're having a brilliant conversation here, some very interesting ideas and anecdotes. So come right back. All right.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com. or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Aren't you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
And we're back. Athletes United platform with the Edge Radio Network with truth. Truth still matters. We've been here talking to some very intriguing young men, and well, I don't call us just young men, we're seasoned men. Are we not?
Seasoned.
Regarding our various experience exposures to community development and community outreach. Along that line, we have a special guest we're bringing in this afternoon. Her name is Miss Christy Yannick. We refer to her lovingly as Dr. KJ.
Go ahead.
That's our girl.
Hey, Doc.
Doc, I want you to meet Robert Reed, longtime NBA favorite, and Harvey Catchings, longtime NBA favorite. They're all interested in hearing what you have to say this evening about whatever topic you choose to refer to. She's a wellness practitioner, former fitness model, world champion, trainer and fitness model. As far as I'm concerned, she's one of us.
So anything she wants to talk about.
Anything. We with you.
So, this is Doc's Corner. This is the segment of the program we refer to as Doc's Corner. So take it away, Doc.
Yeah, well, first I want to thank you, Mel, for having me on the show again. It is my pleasure and honor. And incredible meeting you, amazing, phenomenal men up there. I know y'all are doing amazing things. And yeah, I am super excited to be here and to do a little chat today of something that was I felt needed to be talked about and could be an area more addressed. And I know, Mel and I, we have had a lot of conversations talking about stress specific and the negative consequences and effect that dealing with long-term stress undealt with can lead to chronic disease, chronic illness, chronic sicknesses, allergies, and all kinds of ailments in the body. So it is very important, it is said that the root to all sickness, disease, illness, cancers, autoimmune diseases are stress and stressors. And so I think, talking about ways that we can be proactive and dealing with these stressors and preventing these things to happening and preventing things from going chronic. So today I'll talk about my top six ways to lowering cortisol, which is our number one stress hormone in the body.
How about that?
Yeah, so my number one tip, advice, it's something you can start doing today, start doing tomorrow, right when you wake up. And that is getting sunlight first thing in the morning. It is said and believed and researched that the minute your cornea hits the sunlight in the morning, it releases an array of hormones. A top hormone that it actually releases is a neurotransmitter that the brain uses that is called serotonin. Serotonin is known as our feel-good hormone and our well-being hormone in a sense. And so the minute you wake up in the morning, getting that sunlight first thing in the morning and letting your eyes see the sunlight is very powerful. It can actually have a physical and psychological effect on the body throughout the rest of the day. My second tip would be, again, another thing that you can start implementing today, tomorrow, right now, would be taking 5 deep breaths whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, whenever you're feeling stressed, taking those 5 deep breaths. You want to go in your nose, out your mouth, and just continue that for 5 breaths. It is scientifically proven and researched again that just 5 deep breaths in a matter of seconds can lower cortisol by 30%.
Really?
Huge.
So when I'm doing my push-ups, that's what released at least 10 or 12 of those.
There you go, Mel. The more breaths, the better.
That's it.
And that's after we
But
brush
that make
our
it
teeth.
clear to us, our entire body is probably one big hormone receptor, is it not?
Oh yes, our bodies work together. Everything is in sync. Our bodies, exercise is amazing stress reduction modality itself, actually. However, it is one of those things where it's kind of too much of something is not a good thing.
Sure.
So even too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And so exercise is amazing for stress reduction. Again, you get that surge and release of neurotransmitters, hormones in the body that help to relax you, that kind of tell your body you're in a safe space. And so exercise is a stressor, but it is actually a beneficial stressor to the body. So yes, I love that.
I'm sorry.
Keep doing those things, Mel. Yeah, so that was the next one I was going to talk about was exercising daily. But again, you want to get a right amount. So for anybody starting off, anything from 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week is amazing. That is a great place to start. You can start with walks. You can start with something low intense, low impact. Dancing is great exercise. It's a great stress reducer and cortisol reducer. So that is a fun one.
And if you can't dance, it's even better.
What was that?
If you can't dance, it's probably even better, isn't it?
If you can't dance, yeah. Love it. Yeah.
All right, I know about you. Go for
it. Your next one?
Yeah. Getting out in nature is super important. I cannot stress this one enough to all of my clients and patients that walk through my doors, friends, family, I can't stress this one enough, that getting out in nature is super powerful. It is available to us every single day. Again, it's another thing that you can start doing today or tomorrow. And it is proven that, you know, the immediate response that our bodies take on from just getting outside and being outside is profound. Not only are we talking that you're getting the negative ions that are associated with it that help to boost our mood, our serotonin, hormones, but also our eyes, what they see immediately when we see the blues and the greens, they have a profound impact on our psychological body, on our subconscious body. And in a way that the blues and the greens and the skies and the grass, they help to lower cortisol. So again, we could go deeper into color therapy and the different modalities and fundamentals of that. But yes, getting outside, getting out in nature is so good for your well-being. Laughing is the best medicine. Can we all agree?
Laughter, I will agree. We agree.
Yes, laughing, finding ways to laugh, and then also making sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are in a uplifting space, in a positive environment, and you're surrounding yourself with those types of people who appreciate you and appreciate who you are. Now, I understand we don't always have that leisure of surrounding ourselves with always uplifting, positive people. Sometimes we can come across those people in our work environments that can, you know, cause extra stress. But outside of work or any way you can to surround yourself with uplifting and positive people, it is so important, guys.
That's powerful. That's powerful. We have a question from one of our guests.
I like what she was saying, being positive. She reminds me of the one movie Fast and Furious when they were in Brazil, when the one guy said, "There you go, man, you're bringing all this negativity." You gotta think positive, man. This negativity ain't doing it.
I love it. You're familiar with that franchise, Fast and Furious.
Speaking of laughing, we're laughing.
But in all honesty, what you said, during our days, you only had two coaches, head coach, assistant coach. You know who we went to talk to? The trainer. As he's taping your ankles, anything that was on your mind, you talk to the trainer. On the court, off the court. Marriage, girlfriend, and whatnot. Because the trainer was our psychiatrist.
Wow. He was our stress reliever.
He was our stress reliever. Yes.
Wow.
Now go ahead. We digress. I'm sorry.
Now we got a smile on the face.
Right. Hey, you have to admit though, we hit one of those points with the laughter. Laughter is great for you.
Keep bringing the laughter. I love it. Love it. Yes, talk therapy is very important, very profound. It is one of the number one well-known types of therapies, amongst many others that are great for helping to reduce stress, in a sense of, you know, talking to a therapist or somebody who can kind of hold the mirror up to you and kind of see things from a non-biased perspective, and also help you problem solve. So I love that you brought that up. That is amazing. It's amazing to be able to go to somebody and to be able to confide in them. That is very important, I think, for everybody to have that person that they can kind of go to and, in a sense, download or get advice or get wise counseling from. Very important. I love it. Yeah, and then to wrap it up, the last one, to make number 6, would be supplementing. We can absolutely supplement to help reduce cortisol in the body, especially right before bedtime. We have what our bodies call a circadian rhythm. And so this circadian rhythm throughout the day basically monitors our cortisol. And so first thing in the morning when we wake up, we actually want cortisol, which is our stress hormone. We actually want a surge and a rise of cortisol, which is what wakes us up. And so throughout the day, it kind of maintains and stabilizes itself. And then as the night goes on, it lowers. A healthy cortisol or a healthy circadian response in a healthy individual would be to see high cortisol in the morning, not too high, but higher in the morning, and then it kind of deregulates throughout the night to help us to sleep. So when our cortisol is low, we can relax, we can feel start to feel relaxed, and it can kind of prepare our body for sleep. However, some people have problems with this due to whether it's overconsumption of caffeine in our society, overstimulation, especially too much blue screen light, too much phone screen light can absolutely disrupt circadian rhythm cycles and our cortisol cycles. And so an amazing supplement that I love to recommend to my clients for anybody dealing with a circadian rhythm imbalance is actually a supplement that I have right here. It's called CortEase, and it does exactly what it says in a sense that it helps to lower cortisol and to help cope with the psychological effects of stress. And so basically the way this was formulated was it was formulated to with a synergistic matrix blend of adaptogenic herbs, which they use in Chinese medicine. And so these herbs are natural, they're grown, and they're very powerful. Adaptogenic herbs are actually on a rise today for some amazing health benefits that they carry. So yeah, this contains an amazing proprietary blend of adaptogenic herbs that help to lower cortisol and to tell the body to relax, that it is in a safe environment, a safe space, and to get a good night's rest. So I love this one. It's amazing. You can get it at nevethics.com, and then you can also use code Nirvana10 to save money on that. That is absolutely my favorite supplement, my go-to. I use it every single day.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doc, you've enlightened us on several things that could not only have a physiological benefit, but biological as well. And let's face it, some of this stuff has value for the entire workforce, if you're talking from a corporate perspective. So we really appreciate you this afternoon. We look forward to seeing you every week on this broadcast. And you get to come on down sometime and join us. How about that? Huh?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Thanks a great deal, Doc, from the entire group.
Pleasure.
Harvey, Robert, and Big Sonny. We want to thank you again.
Thank you. It was nice having on the show, and I appreciate it, and I am so honored. I hope that you guys can use these top 6 tips and share them with family or friends or whoever you feel led to share with. And let's be on the road to health, happiness, and joy.
I love it.
All right, guys. Have a blessed weekend, and thank you again for having me on the show.
Indeed. And we're out. We'll be back this time next week on the Anthony Tree Night platform and the Edge Radio Network. Where truth
still matters. Still matters.
Come on. You know what they say.